All right, awesome. Welcome. I'm excited to be here, with you. And today we're going to be talking about connecting with your inner child. Now, there's an inner child that lives within all of us, and it's the part of us that feels emotion. It's usually the playful part of us, the intuitive part, and the creative part of us. And usually it gets hidden under our grown-up personas as well. And the inner child really holds the key to all things to do with relationships for us, things like intimacy in relationships, physical and emotional well-being, recovery from addictions, and the creativity and wisdom of our inner selves. So which of these areas do you struggle with most? Put it in the chat.
Are you going to share screen? Are you going to share the slides?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, Kim will share the slides. And so I'm going to go ahead and introduce our amazing team today. So we have Stephanie. Stephanie is amazing as a leader, and she is passionate about helping people heal past wounds and traumas. She herself has been a part of just an enormous overcoming holistic journey, which is amazing. And she's battled her fair share of issues, as we all have, and really has made a way to help the transition and self-healing recovery road way more smooth, and just really loves helping coach women who are struggling with things like addiction, past hurts, inner childhood trauma, stagnant or toxic relationships. And she also has her amazing practice in St. Louis for energy healing. So she has a lot of knowledge and modalities under her belt. And then we are here with Kim. Kim Ureta you've had quite the journey as well. She's struggled immensely in childhood to find balance, but really never learned how to deal with emotions the productive way. And so she had a walk and a journey of her own path of healing, and it started with, a lot of like modalities, colon hydrotherapy, massage, Woulfing. And now she is really known for her strong, nurturing inner mother spirit and being able to softly and wonderfully help those in recovery. So she is a recovery wellness coach. And Kim is actually the author of Essential Oils for Addiction. And she's also trained in water release therapy, which is amazing. So welcome, Kim and Stephanie. I'm excited that you're here and to be aligned with you, such passionate women about helping others. And for those who don't know me, I've got 2 decades of nursing experience in functional health nursing. And for the past 12 years, that's what I've been doing. I help you find your food sensitivities, deficiencies, and toxicities. I do it in a very non-invasive way. And my clients love me because I make things very simple for them. I'm known as Dena Woulfe, and I'm your health detective. So we are overjoyed that you're here and that you're aligned with us, and in such a space of powerful healing. And so congratulations for showing up for you. That is usually the first step. No one's usually willing to show up for us unless we show up for ourselves. So congratulations for being here. And I really, truly do believe that you have the power to speak life. So I'm going to speak some life into you right now. You are beautiful, you have value, and you are worth it. And so we're going to go ahead and kick this off.
Do you want me to go to the next one? Does it say connecting with your inner child?
No.
Oh, okay. Let me stop sharing and I'll start again. Share. Sometimes it doesn't catch up. Okay, now is it on there?
Yeah.
Okay. So it has Dena's picture on it. So is this a Dena? She
read that.
Yeah, I already did that one. I think we're on to go to the next one.
Okay.
Yes. So, yep, we're good there. You can go ahead and go. There we go.
Okay, here we start with.
Okay. So some of your inner child experiences would be your programming, wounds and behaviors. And what I mean by programming, if that's not a language or a term that you guys are familiar with, from 0 to 7, we watch our parents, we emulate our parents, and we are completely programmed. We're like a computer. We're just taking in all these experiences, and it tells us, like, our brain is saying this is the way life is. So when I refer to a program, that can also be a belief, something that you are really convicted and strong in just because it's just the way I was brought up. It's the way I was taught. That's how you can identify a program.
Am I going to another slide?
Yeah, you're going to go next. So signs of a wounded inner child: you are easily offended and hurt, and others feel they have to walk on eggshells around you. You don't have a strong sense of identity. You feel inadequate as a man or a woman. You're unforgiving to yourself, rigid, a perfectionist. You have deep abandonment issues and would cling to relationships even when they're toxic. You don't trust yourself. You experience anxiety when going out of your comfort zone. You deliberately like being in conflict with people around you. You need external validation. You attract emotionally unavailable people, and you feel that there is something wrong with you in the deepest parts of yourself. The differences. So these are examples of a wounded inner child. And then we all have the ability to heal ourselves, and we all have the ability to be that loving inner parent that we never had. So you can write down any of your wounded child beliefs. So the wounded inner child, something that you might hear play over and over in your mind would be, I always mess everything up. Things will never get better. It's all my fault. Why am I such an idiot? And sometimes when these tapes are playing, it'll come out when you're triggered. And a trigger is something that immediately you have a visceral reaction to something that somebody said. You can feel it in your body. And then you'll have those thoughts of, it's all my fault. I'm fat and ugly and no one will ever love me. I haven't worked hard enough to deserve rest. I'm never going to be good enough, so I might as well give up now. And the part of you that can be the loving inner parent when you say, I always mess everything up, is everyone makes mistakes and that's okay. Kind of similar to what Kim did in the beginning of the call when she had the awareness of that thought of, ooh, Dena's not here, like I'm not smart enough. And then she quickly shifted that into, wait a minute, yes, I am. I can do this. So the loving inner parent would say to someone, things will never get better. This is a moment of suffering. It's all my fault. You could say to yourself, blaming myself is just causing more suffering. I am learning to love and accept myself just as I am. What can I do to take care of myself right now? That is a great question to ask yourself. And I'm finding this hard, so I need to be especially gentle with myself today. So the type of childhood trauma, rejection trauma, you find compromising difficult. You're wary about letting people in. You keep people at arm's length. You easily make negative assumptions about what others are thinking. You have a hard time trusting people with your feelings, and you are a people pleaser. The abandonment trauma. So this is another type of, these are just different traumas to kind of help get you guys maybe aware, or just can start maybe identifying how these things might show up in your life. So the abandonment one is low self-esteem, feelings of self-worth. You might experience depression, anxiety and insecurity, fear of being left behind or abandoned, and the inability to form healthy relationships in the teenage or adult years. Injustice trauma. isolating and cutting oneself off from resources. Unpredictable and rational emotions, kind of like roller coaster emotions. There's no even keel. Disorientation and short attention span, feeling fatigued or drained, and chronic chest or back pain. Betrayal trauma. You might feel panic attacks, physical pain or stomach distress. You might have nightmares, trouble recognizing, expressing, or managing emotions, and or experience anxiety, depression, or other mental health symptoms.
Funny, as you're reading these, I can recognize at points of my life when these came up.
Yeah, me too. I know, I'm reading them and I'm like, oh yeah, memories or flashes would come in.
Can you give an example? Like me, well, let me go back. Because I felt the most with this one.
With the betrayal, so when I was in middle school, I had developed Crohn's disease. So physical pain, stomach distress was pretty chronic in my mid years from all of the emotional distress of just not being able to express myself. And I had a deep core abandonment one with my mom, which I felt very betrayed by.
And have you seen how it shows up in your daily life now? Like I mean, you've worked on it, but
I've worked on it, but it still does. Actually, as we went through all of these slides, I have been in each category of experiencing. So I grew up in a home where it was chaotic and there was alcoholism, and my dad was an anger rager. So not trusting people was huge, and that still shows up. And I have to reparent myself consistently and reminding myself of who I am, my worth, my value. And sometimes that looks like me just taking a day for me, taking care of myself, nurturing that part of me. Maybe it's doing some kid things I didn't do when I was a kid because I was an adult child. So I didn't get to have a lot of childhood time where I was like playing and expressing myself with other kids. I spent a lot of time alone. So kind of that loner isolation has showed up, and I've had to really force myself and learn how to come out of that.
thank you for sharing this tender, open heart, vulnerable things, because
Yeah.
you can really see that you put a lot of thought into this, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
So this was, let me move this. So I found this book, and it's called Loving What Is by Byron Katie. And did you ever read that one, Stephanie?
Yes, I love that book.
She's from Barstow.
She is.
She totally is. It's like 30 minutes north of me, which is like, anyway, super weird. So I connected with her that way. And I really liked that she got this download that her life was going to completely change just by going through where you realize that the things you think are not necessarily your reality. That it's just like if you're thinking a thought, it's like you could be gripping a tennis ball.
Yes.
But you
can I say something to that?
Yeah.
With Byron Katie, because this was something that she had shared, and I feel it's really important to share it. So she talked about an experience that she had. She had a daughter who was an addict, and she would sit up at night by the window, worrying, just sitting there in a rocking chair, looking out the window, playing out all of these scenarios in her mind, what her daughter was doing at that time, what could possibly be happening to her. Like she's in an alley getting beaten and raped, she could be dead, all of the things, right? And then she went into her work, which I'm sure you'll talk about. But what she narrowed it down to is that the only thing that is real right now is that I'm a woman sitting in a rocking chair looking out a window.
She had to come back to the present.
Yeah, right. like and then I'll let you talk about the rest, because it's just, we're creating stories consistently. And if we let those go, I mean, gosh, we could run rampant, right? If we listen to that.
Yeah, one of her stories is really funny. So it's like you said, it's helping you to stop jumping to conclusions. There was
Mhm.
a story in her book where she goes into a public restroom and somebody comes out of a stall and she goes in, and the person is still in the bathroom washing their hands, but it's like wet all over the seat. And so
Mm.
now she's thinking, what kind of person leaves the toilet like this, like pees all over the toilet seat? And then she comes up with like three things that was, well, what if it's a man? And the man peed all over the seat, because it's I don't know. And then, I forget what else she comes up with, but then she goes to flush and the toilet makes this huge mess. Like it's sprayed up and made the spray mess. She's like, why did I do that? I mean, I like let myself go through all of these, I'm going to be up in arms about this person's hygiene in public places. And like, anyway, I just think it's funny.
Mm.
So these are some of her limiting beliefs that a lot of people, it's like you've signed a contract, let's see, I need to know what to do. I don't know what to do. Well, let me see if there's some contracts in there. Life isn't fair. Parents should love their children. Children should love their parents. There are things that we say to ourselves, and they're not changing anything around us. They don't do any good, just for us to keep laying it on. It just creates anger and worry and self-critiquing. So these kinds of thoughts aren't productive. They don't make your brain open up and start thinking bigger. They're a stopping point. So if I say, I'm not good enough, my brain isn't going to be thinking all the ways I could be better. It's thinking, yeah, like it's going to give me all the reasons why I'm not good enough. So just giving an example of what some of those categories of childhood trauma, what thoughts would breed from there. So you can watch for them, because they're little reminders of like, oh yeah, I need to be kind and stop for a second. Like, what part of myself needs some love? So we're going to use. Oh, there's a double. Is that you, Dena? Was that you? Okay, I'm going to go to the next one. I'm not the only one doing tech things today. Okay. So this is something that I wrote out. It doesn't have to be you at 5 years old. It could be you at 12 years old. But it's really handy to have a picture of yourself. And also, as an extracurricular thing, find a young photo of everyone that you spend a lot of time with, because you're going to be so much nicer to them and you're not going to be as angry. So when they do something that you're like, why'd you do that? Then you go, oh yeah, that's who I was talking to, not the adult. So this is something that you can do. And I really like to do it with the oils, because it really helps to connect me into my body, and also helps to change some of what Stephanie was mentioning, that it's a body sensation that will like trigger and go into that neural pathway that you got from your childhood. We want to change those neural pathways. So you would sit in a quiet place. You can imagine yourself at a young age. You can start at 5 years old if you can remember. You're going to choose your oil. So if you've got oils around you, let's pick one. I'm going to pick jasmine, because we're going to anchor that positive feeling in your body so you can find a new sensation. So I'm going to take a drop. I'm going to rub my hands together. I like to rub my hands together for at least 15 seconds, because as soon as I anchor, now I can't think about the past. I can't think about the present. I'm just right here in my body. And then I'm going to take 4 deep breaths. So what makes this feel safer for you in connecting with this younger version of yourself, perhaps an unhealed version of yourself? is you're going to invite your higher power to come with you to watch that video. So you might have picked a memory. So I might think of when I was 6 years old and my mom had a mermaid party for my sister and I and our birthday. So if I bring my higher power with me, it makes me feel protected. And then I can be more of a protector to my younger self. So it's just something that you can do in the morning. You can do it any time of day that you find yourself feeling like your emotions have got away from you and you're not really sure what's going on or what you need to do next. Or like you feel like you want to stop yourself from acting out in an inappropriate way. It's a really good intervention tool to like, okay, let's get back in our body. Let's talk to that part of ourself that's gonna help us make a decision. Okay, so why are we using essential oils to do this? So we have in our brain all of these habits and patterns. So like what I describe them to people as is when you go hiking and you can see the deer paths where the animals have been going like often, like that's their little path to go get water or whatever. In your brain, you've got those little deer paths, the neural pathways. So when think about how you wash your hands. You wash your hands exactly the same way. You brush your teeth exactly the same way you did yesterday as you will today. It's a pattern. It's a way that you use your body and it's a body sensation. So we want to use these oils because once you breathe them in, these little volatile molecules are crossing through your olfactory and into your brain and balancing the pool. So if you've got, serotonin and all this stuff that's not quite right, it's going to help bring it back into homeostasis so that you can be balanced from the inside out chemically. And they soothe us. They give us that comfort that we need to find. So the first one is adaptive. So remember those limiting beliefs? These are the counter. So those were the limited ones. These are the ones that are going to help your brain find possibilities and move you forward. So it teaches the need for kindness towards oneself and self-acceptance. Let me move so I can keep reading. I allow myself all the learning experiences I find necessary and give myself grace as I am learning. I am kind and accepting to myself first. I love adaptive. Juniper berry. Assist those who fear the dark or unknown aspects of themselves. And here's the belief shift. I'm excited and open to learning new things about myself. I fully love and accept all the parts of me, seen and unseen. We actually have this on one worksheet page. So if you want that PDF so that you can just read them off when you want them, I think we can make that happen. Okay, so balance blend. This is one of the first ones that I fell in love with in doTERRA. Supports individuals in need of grounding and staying in the present moment. People that know me well know that I'm quite squirrely and I'm easily distracted. And I need things to help ground me and keep me on task. I am happy, healthy, and whole in the present moment. I fully experience all the good life has to offer me. So I just found out recently with my human design report that I have an open throat and open head. So that's how come people can distract me so easy, because they put their ideas in there. And my biggest is the heart center. I have this huge heart center. Well, I'll have to show you, Stephanie, so we can see. Copaiba or copaiba, tomato, reassures that mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual limitations are only temporary. I am reassured that in all that I do, my opportunities and possibilities are mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually unlimited. How can I create and fully experience the unlimited possibilities that surround me right now? I'm just realizing I wish I had told you guys to, like, if you're on mute, to start to say these all out loud with me. Because your voice is the perfect frequency for your healing. So like, I'm going to be like amazing after this because I said all these. So if you're on mute, just say them out loud. Okay. And then using the oil is going to help you tune more into that special frequency. Isn't that neat? So if you were wondering, copaiba is to help heal the mother wound, and frankincense is to heal the father wound. So I think that's pretty interesting. Green mandarin, I love that one. Reminds us that wonder and hope are food for the soul and imparts exuberance for fully living life. My life is full of wonder and hope. I am joyful to experience a life that best serves my soul. This is like when we've been telling ourselves those limiting statements that just put a full stop on your thinking. This helps us break that, where you go, what genius is trying to be born? If you ask yourself, what genius is trying to be born? Your brain's going to go, yeah, what genius is trying to be born? Frankincense shields the body and soul from negative influences and assists the soul in its spiritual evolution. I am shielded from any outside influences that do not serve me spiritually or emotionally. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Isaiah 54:17. Tangerine teaches individuals to enjoy life by being more abundantly creative, to experience the joy and spontaneity they knew as a child. I feel a strong connection to my inner creative side. I am experiencing more abundant spontaneity in my adulthood, and I am enjoying it. I don't know if you guys have this, but like, when other people are dancing and you're like, I don't want to dance. I don't want to. Like, that's weird. I feel like if we had the green mandarin and tangerine, we might be like, all right, I'm game, let's play. Cedarwood inspires the feeling of belonging and assists the heart in opening to receive the love and support of other people. I feel a strong connection and belonging with the wholesome people I attract into my life. So sweet. I use cedarwood a lot in my bath. And I always think of like, I haven't seen the new Avatar, but the old Avatar, where like you see all the blue people sitting and you see their roots where their fancy little tail like connects into the ground and it connects underneath of them. Cedarwood, I'm like connecting with everyone taking a bath. Rose. This is one that I use constantly. Embodies divine love and teaches individuals how to contact this love through prayer, meditation, and an opening the heart to receive. How can I show myself love, compassion, and grace today? Oh, that's a good one. Should put that on a mirror. I am experiencing self-love, compassion, and grace in all the areas of my life. Amazing. Okay, so here you are, Steph. You're still muted, Steph.
So what I'm going to talk about is ways that you can release the emotions from your body. These are ways that I absolutely love tapping. So this is an emotional release technique, the emotional freedom technique. And so you don't always have to have a setup phrase. If you watch any videos anywhere else, they will tell you that you have to like kind of have a setup phrase for a feeling that you're feeling, whether it be anxiety, worry, stress. You want to identify that. But really what I just would like to show you is something quick. Like if you're getting triggered or you're feeling those deeper wounded parts of you, those inner child parts that we talked about, the betrayed or the abandoned, or you're feeling just like alone, one of the quickest ways to bring you back into your body is you can start tapping under your eyes. This is really great for fear. This is a meridian, like in acupuncture, Chinese medicine. So all the points that I'm going to have you tap on, they would be the same as if you were getting acupuncture. You're moving the chi, you're moving the energy. And when we have emotions, it's kind of like energy is an emotion, like moving around in your body. And if it's something you suppress, it gets stuck in certain energy centers. So you can also tap on the top of your head. This is really good for grounding when you feel like you've left your body. And I love breathing. So I don't know about the rest of you, but breathing has changed my life. Deep breath, just breath work in general has changed my physiology. So just like if you take a deep breath in through your nose, inhale, and if you blow out of your mouth, and just like as you're tapping, imagine yourself releasing all of those feelings, all of those worries, and just like blowing all of that energy out. You can tap on the sides of the eye. That's also an acupressure point. Under the nose. My favorite, always the chin. You can do the chin, the collarbone. This is one of my favorites. And so I just kind of want everybody to close their eyes and tune in as they tap in this area. You're kind of close to your heart space. I know when I tap here, I feel a lot of sensation in my chest, and that always feels really good to me. You can tap your thymus. Your thymus is, so whenever I'm this right here, right below your throat, in this like pivot here, I'm just going to share, whenever I've been triggered, this is an area I go to and tap. Like when I'm really activated, I just close my eyes and I tap right here. And it really does change my energy. It really helps me shift quickly. Under the arm, you can tap under your arm on your side. And then the side of the hand, that's always the first, that's a setup. So you can do that first, but I don't use this one that much, but it is one you can tap on and you can use. But the under the eyes is huge. And tapping is something that you can do and you don't have to talk about it. That's the other thing. Sometimes people don't like to talk about things. So it's something really quick. If you want to shift, that you just tap on these points and you just shift your energy.
Here we go. So we can ask, what are your top 3 takeaways? You guys want to unmute and share?
You can put them in the chat, or you can share them out loud. If you just want to type them, you can do that too.
Cool. So you mentioned breath work. I really love that sexy Wim Hof.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I love that one too. I do a lot of Ujjayi breathing because I'm a yogi.
Yeah.
And I do that. And I'm currently in a breathwork course. So I've been having a lot of experiences with releasing and even noticing where the body doesn't want, like where I want to hold on sometimes. And it's kind of scary to move past and move through those areas when you're doing breath work. And noticing that not everybody breathes the same, right? That we all have a different type of breathing. Sometimes when we close our eyes and we just are silent and we tune into the breath, we could have shallow breathing. And shallow breathing is associated with traumas. So you can notice that if you are breathing a little shallower, that kind of is related to that trust factor and, you know, where you're at, just what you've learned how to do to kind of go through life. I mean, how many people on the call do breath work or tune into their breath or pay attention to their breath? And if they can raise hands or in the chat. And have you noticed a difference? Was there a time in your life that you didn't pay attention to your breath? That you weren't in sync or in tune with it?
Dana says, yes, most people don't breathe deep. I usually need to talk to my clients through breathing techniques during our session.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jamie says, my breathing has been very shallow and fast lately as I'm under a significant amount of stress. I notice it a lot.
Mm-hmm. And that's when you notice the breath getting shallow, you're in fight or flight too. So that's a good indicator that your system is in that survival mode, and those tapping mechanisms can work, but that deep breathing, which people do need guidance through that when you're just getting started, because it is a practice and it's not something that we are taught or we do daily. So just keeping it very normalized, like it is something that's taught to people, that it does change the physiology in your energy field frequencies. Like Kim talked about earlier, your frequency with the oils, when you notice when you use the oils, how quickly you shift, it's just the same with breath work.
So have you heard of alchemy of breath?
Is it a school?
Anyway, he's another like sexy
Yeah.
old, I don't know, I have a thing for sexy older men. So, and he's one of the yoga people that only has one name. So he's Anthony, and he wears that soft scarf. Anyway, if you look it up, it's Alchemy of Breath. And every Sunday, there's an hour long or maybe a half an hour long free breath work. It's worldwide breath work on Sundays. So you can just tune in. So I think it's amazing. It is more of like that holotropic breathing.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely don't do it while you're driving because you'll crash.
Yeah.
So you definitely need to be lying flat for that time period and for an hour after. I really liked it. And then Wim Hof is so easy for me. I'd be so interested about doing another specific breath workshop with you, Stephanie.
Yeah, I would love to do that. That would be great.
Cool. Let's see what the next slide. So yeah, I mean, when people are coming into our sphere and they're like, oh, you guys are so cool, you have all these things that you're doing, we're like, yeah, you're supposed to be here. This is where a lot of people have felt a little bit crazy, and they're trying to find what's going to help them. They don't have a lot of healthy people around them. We get to create this community of understanding and caring and loving individuals, and we all have boundaries, and we get to teach each other like how to say no, how to say yes when you want to. And yeah, communicating. I think it's amazing. And you get to learn about essential oils. You get to learn about breath work. You get to learn about clean eating. You know, it's really special. I really take for granted. I used to take for granted the amount of beautiful people I have access to. And when I started attending more regular meetings like AA and Adult Children of Alcoholics and Codependence Anonymous, I hear people saying they don't have healthy people in their life. And I go, whoa, these people, so I want to like bring in the ones I like, I bring them in. You know, you got to weed them out.
You do.
But I mean, I love the 12-step program. And that's why I incorporated the essential oils and breath work and journaling into, because when you start doing these 12 steps, you have to start understanding your feelings. And that's where a lot of people get stuck. So I really think that people can have more success when they know that their feelings are not scary. They're just telling them what those next action steps are going to be. So we've got ongoing more workshops. So I think next week we're going to be going over taking care of your body with Meta Power and joint health and feeling more comfortable in your skin. Let's see. Oh yeah. So Dena, you want to talk about this one?
Sure. So we do have some bonuses right now. So if you are someone who loves free stuff, we have a way to get you all this for free. Just contact us or the person who invited you to this call, and they can explain how to get these free. It is a specific, unique link with Kim, so you do have to put in a code in order to get it. So if you do want that, let us know. We are here to help. make sure you get all the freebies you can, because adaptive like is one of the ones that we talked about, and it's phenomenal. Digestin, I don't leave home without that. That's great for anything digestive. And then having your own diffuser, like I've got my diffuser going back here, and I've got some, if you put it on the next slide, I think we have one more. Yeah, this is finding inner peace. So it's 5 green mandarin, 3 copaiba, and 3 balance. It smells so amazing. And then here's some other ones for you: open heart, and then achieving grace. So it's just a little bonus for you today. Yeah.
I've been wanting my juniper berry. I was looking, there it is. I'm glad you put that one.
Yeah. That's awesome. And we can take any questions if anybody has any, or anything you want to share, any ha-ha moments.
Can yellow mandarin be used instead of green mandarin? Does anybody know? And for those,
I'm pretty sure that you can use it in place, but it might have like different constituents in it. But I
Okay.
know like white grapefruit and regular grapefruit, they're both the same. It's just they're different colors. So I'll have to check on that for you if you want.
okay, thank you.
It's a good
Yeah.
question.
I think it's in the Essential Emotion book because they put all the new like limited oils there too. So it might have a different emotional thing. Yellow, there's green. Have to go. Any more questions? What's that cool guy that just died? The little monk. I can't ever say his name right. Thick. You know what I'm talking about. It's got like 3. He's got 3 names. Yeah.
Thich Nhat Hanh. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. So he's got a really good inner child YouTube video that you can like, if you want to do a meditation.
Okay.
I like for, obviously I'm sure you do one, Stephanie.
I do. I have a free one on my sites. It's not up yet,
you
but
do?
yeah. Yeah, I'll be having a free inner child meditation on there, and I can probably send it to you if you want to send it out to everybody.
Please do, because we would rather listen, and I mean, because he does have a very thick accent.
He does. Yeah, he does. Well, I can do that. I will get it to you or Dena, and then we'll get it out to everybody.
Awesome. That's
Cool,
amazing.
really.
Any questions?
Okay, thank you everyone for.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Have a great evening.
Have a great evening, everybody.
Hey,
Thanks, Kim. This was great.
Thank you so much, everybody.
thanks for
Bye.
coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dena. Thank you,
Oh,
Stephanie.
my pleasure.
Thank you. Bye.